Hey, thanks so much for coming back to Jay Space Reacts. I'm going to do something that it is ambitious because, we're on the eve of the Eurovision Grand Final 2019, what we wait all year for. But I'm going to try my best in this to discuss Semifinal 2 in under 15 minutes so that I can post it as one video and you guys can see it without me having to chop the whole thing up. So I had one, I'm kind of proud of myself. I had one country wrong on the qualifying side and one country wrong on the non-qualifying side from semifinal 2. So these are in like no set order, but I do want to talk about the countries that I predicted wouldn't qualify and then did not end up qualifying, so I was right. Armenia, I really thought that they stood a good chance of qualifying. The problem for me is that her vocals were shaky when they needed to be like super solid, and also like the video had so many like male dancers and she was the only female and she was like in control, and the staging had none of that. It just seemed kind of empty. So after seeing that, I predicted that plus going first, plus not having the vocals on par would hurt their chances, and sadly that was true. Lithuania, I love you, but there wasn't a connection for me with Run with the Lions. Like it's a good song, but it didn't have the connection that Eva had last year with her song, and I just felt like it got kind of lost in the shuffle of semifinal 2. Moldova, beautiful song. I was just so distracted by the sand art lady that I couldn't pay attention to the song, and that's a problem. And there were pitch issues, that's pitch issues for those of you that don't know, with her performance. So I predicted she wouldn't qualify and she didn't. Romania has been one of those for me. If you go back and watch my reaction to the video, to me it's so bizarre, and I felt like the vocals, she couldn't control them a lot of times. It was kind of like screechy, it was kind of sharp, it was not right. The staging was really good, I'll give you that, but you got to bring the vocals, and I didn't feel that. So yeah, that's that. Ireland, look, I've been honest with y'all from the very beginning. This was not a solid entry at all. From the first time that I reacted to the video all the way through this performance, if I was just kind of like really, like, Ireland, this is the best that you have to send. And the song was really catchy. It was a cute performance, but it didn't, in my eyes, ever really have a chance of advancing, sadly. Who's left? Croatia. Okay, his vocals, we don't need to talk about that because they're amazing. They're flawless. But how many times did we try to like say the concept of the staging is not right? Like, go back and start over again with like a new concept, because having the wings did not work, and it kind of turned a lot of people off from their national final. And then to see it that, plus I felt like it was amped up even more, it was too bad, because he really was probably the best vocalist in Eurovision this year. So Latvia, look, I'm always down for like, a slow jam, like, sitting around a fire, and some people are like, falling asleep, but there's like a couple of people strumming a guitar and singing, but it wasn't what I think people would remember towards the end. Like, honestly, sometimes when I see Latvia's name for this year, I have trouble remembering what the song is, and that's never a good sign. it's a beautiful song and a beautiful sort of, like I said, chill song. But for me, Latvia's chill song is the opposite of what Slovenia's sort of chill song was. They're like polar opposites. So that's that. The one that I got wrong that I thought would not qualify but did was Denmark. It's sort of the exact same thing that we've already seen from the national final. I like the song, and I think everyone is going like this, and it's easy to remember, so maybe that's why you guys embraced it so much, and I'm not mad that it made it. It was just the one that I didn't get right. Let's move over to the qualifiers now, from semifinal 2. We'll start with the one that I got wrong, because obviously if I missed one on the non-qualifiers, I missed one on the qualifiers. For me, that was Austria. I mean, I've been in love with that song since I heard it for the first time. What she brought to the competition was just so beautiful and different and artistic, and her tone of her voice was so pure, that I really was hoping it would sneak in there to the grand final, but it didn't. I think because there were so many like upbeat, like high profile banger songs in semifinal 2 that it may not have stood out to people. So that was the only one that I got wrong on the qualifier side. Let's talk about who we got right and what I thought about them. Again, these are in no specific order at all. Let's start with Russia. Predicted that they would qualify. Sergey, delivered an amazing vocal performance. The staging to me is unfortunate, because I feel like it doesn't live up to the song, and I wanted something more like the video and the storyline from that. But I predicted you would qualify, Russia, and you did, so congrats on that. Albania, I predicted that you would qualify, but I have to be completely honest and real with you guys. Nina's vocals were, for the first time I think ever that I've heard, were a little off. Like, she was flat for a lot of that performance, and I'm happy and thrilled that she made it through, and then Albania made it through. But I really hope that the vocal issues are worked out. I don't know if it was she couldn't hear it right or something, but she was flat for the majority of that performance. The Netherlands. Okay, here's the thing. Like, we all knew that they were going to make it through. They're still the bookies' favorites to win. I'll say this about the Netherlands, and it comes from a place of love, of course. I felt like the staging made it not as emotionally impactful as the video of the song. I get he wants to play the piano, and that's great and awesome, but to me it so limits what the performer can do and what the audience sees. And there were like blue lights every once in a while in the background. I don't know. I felt like the staging was maybe not up to par. It didn't match the quality of the song. And I have to be honest, I wouldn't be mad if the Netherlands still is able to pull out a win here, but I feel like that performance is kind of opening the door a little bit for some of these other countries to maybe step in and have some surprises. Malta, yeah, so happy that you qualified. The song is probably now my favorite. Like, I listen to it the most. It's just so fun, so catchy. I love the visuals on stage. Everything about it was absolutely perfect. And I loved seeing her reaction to qualifying, because you remember in those moments that it's about representing your country. And she was so happy, and I was so happy for her too, and for you, Malta, to be back in the grand final. Well deserved. Okay, Azerbaijan. I predicted that Chingiz would qualify. He did. He did what you sort of always want a Eurovision artist to do, and that is take the song that we knew already, but like amp up the vocals in it, and he was giving us like some vocals in that performance that were out of this world. And I felt like even without that, he may have been able to qualify, but with those vocals and with that staging, Azerbaijan could finish. I mean, I think top 10 is not out of reach for them at all. Switzerland, God, how much fun is that performance? Like, there's something about him. Like, he has it. Whatever it is, he has it, and you can tell from the audience's reaction to his performance that he's not gonna have a problem connecting at all. And if the Netherlands, staging is accepted, possibly, like I think it will be, I think Switzerland could be one of those countries that could sneak in there and walk away with this title. It's that good for me, and it's that strong and that sort of powerful, energetic performance that I wouldn't be surprised. The door's open. Switzerland could walk through it. Norway, absolutely super catchy song. I love the staging. The song really seems to be like on fire with Eurovision fans all over the world. Like, people love the song. And Norway's one, I know it's not, I don't know what its current place is in the odds, but I think of, fifth, possibly like sixth place end result is possible for Norway. Like, that's how good that song is for me. North Macedonia, like, I know it's cliche to say I was so proud of you, but because that's the song, but I was really so happy for you and so proud of you. She delivered an absolutely stunning vocal performance in semifinal 2, and she to me is proof that it doesn't matter where you are in the odds leading up to Eurovision. If you go onto that stage and you create that personal and powerful of a moment with a song with such a strong message, people are going to connect to it. And I couldn't be happier for you, Macedonia, that you are back in the grand final, because she was incredible, off the charts, amazing. Who's left? Who have I not talked about? Sweden. I think is that the last country that I haven't talked about. Look, Sweden did exactly what they did in Melodifestivalen, but that's fine, because what they did is incredible. I can't get over, first of all, the energy of the song, but secondly, the 4 backing vocalists, how like critical of a part they play in the performance of the song. It adds a whole nother dimension to it that would not be there otherwise if it was just him on stage alone, like Benjamin Ingrosso last year, who was on stage alone. Instead, it creates this gospel sort of choiry vibe, and every time I see it, I'm like just waiting for that moment when the backing vocalists are gonna come forward, because they sound so incredible. So Sweden, I think a top 5 finish is not unrealistic for you at all. Did I get to all of them? I'm looking at my list, and I think I got to all of them. So yeah, I was off by 1. It'll be interesting when the results come back, after it, to see who finished where in semifinal 2, because I have a feeling that it's possible that Switzerland may have finished higher than the Netherlands in semifinal 2. They might have won semifinal 2, to be completely honest, and I think that Malta was much higher than what people probably expected. So did I do it? We're at 14:23. All right, awesome. So those are my thoughts for semifinal 2. Sorry again that it's so late in the game, but I don't want to leave you guys hanging. So that's how I felt about semifinal 2 of Eurovision 2019, and I will see you guys back shortly for my reaction to the actual running order of the grand final, which I don't know yet, but I'll find out. I'll see you guys back for that. Peace.